Wow, and I thought that night 1 was crazy this year. Night 2 was even crazier. Didn't get to actually get my eyes on the draft and watch it in full until about pick 60. But yeah, I thought I'd take a look. I'm probably going to discover half these picks. Yeah, I'll give my thoughts around a few prospects. If I don't know anything about a prospect, I'm just going to say it. I'm not going to try and make it up like I know anything about them. But yeah, just a few reminders. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I think we've gained like nearly close to 50, nearly like 75 subscribers since yesterday, which is absolutely crazy. Thank you guys so much. If you're a Saint supporter, follow the Instagram. It will be up on the screen right now. You can also join the Discord. And yeah, also I'm gonna record a St Kilda video after this, just going through their total draft. But yeah, let's just get straight into it. So the first pick, Thomas Sims. I don't want to say reach, right? Like, he's probably close to this area in that thought of 35. I thought Hawthorn would probably be a good get for him. But yeah, going key forward again is just not something I expected. Especially Sims. Especially because he's not very mobile. Like, they could be drafting him as a ruck, but then if you want a ruck, you draft Dodson. Or there must have been something wrong with Dodson, injury-wise, or just something crazy. But Bulldogs are up next. They take Lockie Jakes. Again, real earlier than I thought. And yeah, sort of, I really thought they were going to address the midfield need. I think they really need to add to that midfield depth, even though they picked up Hines with their first pick. But wow, Jakes really surprised me. I thought he was going to actually fall to Geelong's pick. And yeah, I do like him as a prospect, but 29 when you got Tom Gross, you got Christian Morais still on the board, surprised me a little bit. Then Job Shanahan, I didn't think the Eagles would take him. I thought they'd go with Hamish Davies, who they ended up getting later in the draft. And yeah, a lot of players fell, and I think a lot more than usual. Usually a couple fall through, but well, a lot of players fell today. And yeah, Shanahan was one of them. He gets picked at the Eagles. I think they might try and train him as a defender. That's what I heard. He could do that. He probably wouldn't be a bad like Jeremy McGovern replacement in a couple of years. But then 31 Bulldogs take Josh Dolan. So Sandy Dragons, again, I think they needed to add to midfield, and it's just not something they did. And it's not like there was bad mids on the board around here. But yeah, Josh Dolan gets picked up here, and again, I don't get it too much. Jasper Alga's on the board here. It's a small forward. I'm not going to hate on the pick too much. Obviously, they could turn into better players, but yeah, take a small forward. Obviously, Charlie Clark, who you drafted 2 years ago, didn't get another contract. St Kilda, James Barrett. I'm gonna save most of my Saints talk. There'll be one pick I'll go into, pick 53, but I'm gonna save it mostly for that next video. This is the one pick on draft night that I just cannot wrap my head around. No clue why we took utility James Barrett, who's a bit of a swingman, when we had swingman Jack Whitlock on the board, and he goes to Port Adelaide at pick 33. Absolute steal. Port Adelaide are one of the biggest winners of this draft. They got Christian Morais, they got Jack Whitlock, and they got Joe Berry. That's just insane. Then Charlie Nichols, 34 to Freo. Big reach for me. I thought he was going to get to Brisbane. But yeah, massive reach here. Again, who knows what he can turn into. But I think there's even Kaylee Gerine. I think that's 100% how you pronounce it. Kaylee Gerine. It's on the board if you really want to draft a key forward, ruck type player. Like Jasper Algier. Sorry, not Jasper Algier. Charlie Nichols is a key forward ruck prospect, and they don't go for it here. Noah Miraz to Hawks, I like. I think if Barrett was on the board or Whitlock was on the board, they would have taken them. Obviously, they're both off. like Mraz as a pickup. They have a lot of key defenders now. Sam Frost, they got Battle Count as a key defender. They got Sicily, they've got Barras, they've got Mraz, they've got James Blank, they've got a few others that I can't quite think of right now. Ethan Phillips is off the list. Jai Sarong, so it's like 5 or 6 key defenders they've got on their list. I'm surprised. Like Mraz as a player, I think he could break into Hawthorn in a few years' time, but again, like a bit of a weirder pick to me. Then Jack off, however you want to say it. December birthday. Goes to the Giants. Like this fit here, really like it. Going tall in that midfield. Then 37. Really like this fit. I think it is something I did mock. Jerian to Essendon. He'll be you can easily play him with Draper. Again, Draper probably, if Jerian goes into the ruck, Draper's not much of a forward, but Jerian, you can train to be a forward, you can train to be a ruck. Christian Moraes, what a fall. I'm surprised he went this far. Yeah, I really surprised that he fell. Thought the Saints would have been looking at him, thought the Dogs would have been looking at him, but he gets to Port, and hard to say it's a bad pick. Then Angus Clark to the Bombers. He's not a key defender. Why is he listed as a key defender? He's 189 centimeters. You cannot be a key position player unless you're over 190, in my opinion. Even then, like 193 might be the threshold. Yeah, but I think it's a good pick here. I don't think they worry too much about drafting interstate players, obviously. Is there anyone else on the... I think they were probably really into Mraz and Jack Oof. And they're both off the board, and I think Clark's a pretty good pickup. He'll help with that movement off the half-back line. He'll pair nicely with Redmond and McGrath. I think McGrath, they should try McGrath in the midfield again. Because I don't love him off half-back, like his ball. Because you really want good ball users off your half-back line. I don't rate McGrath's ball movement. So you pick up Clark. Potentially he moves to that back line. Then Harry O'Farrell, really like this pick. I think Carlton needed a key defender. I mocked Mraz, but Mraz obviously went earlier, so really like this pick. I think O'Farrell's a really good player. And then Riley Bice to Sydney. Way earlier than I expected Bice to go. And I don't get it. Does he really fit in at Sydney? I don't know. It's hard because you can't judge them too harshly because it's not like their first round picks. We're really getting into the third round now. You can take shots on players, but the way things felt, there's still a lot of really good players on this board. Then Geelong bid on Ty Gallup. Never heard of him. 196 centimeters. Obviously something. He's from Brisbane's Academy. Then Ben Camprioli. My favourite of the Camprioli twins. More inside than outside, but like it. Then Jay Polkenhorn, never heard of this kid in my life. Key forward, 190, so he's really a medium-sized forward. Hugh Boxall, mid I really liked. Would have liked Tom Gross a bit more, but obviously happy with the pick. Big-bodied, Ross Lyon type player. West Coast, I think West Coast killed. I didn't say it earlier, but I think West Coast killed this sort of last day of the draft. Tom Gross is great. Shanahan's great. Grego, I really liked. Really underrated in this draft. And then they pick up Hamish Davies late. So we'll get into that a bit later. But Joel Cochran. Sydney fans, if you're watching this, why didn't Sydney match the bid? Because did Sydney take... Yeah, Sydney ended up taking Mac Andrews' brother, Riek Andrew. So why didn't Sydney match that bid on Cochran? Don't get it. But Collingwood walk away with a good player. Then Cooper Bell to the Suns. They match Collingwood's bid. Key defender, 199 centimeters. Oh, sorry, they don't. I think Cooper Bell is a GWS Academy player. And yeah, GWS Academy. So he actually doesn't even. He's not even. I'm surprised. It's weird. A lot of players in academies didn't get their bids matched. I'm not going to know all of them off the top of my head, but there will be a few. Then Collingwood draft Charlie West. 194 key forward. So my thing with Collingwood is that they shouldn't draft anyone under 195. 194 is the same. I really liked Gabriel Stumpf and Clancy Dennis, and I don't think either of them got picked up tonight. So that was really surprising to me. But yeah, key forward, key position players is what they need. Then Sam Davidson here to the Bulldogs. Did not expect Davidson to get picked up to the Bulldogs. I actually thought that Richmond might come back in and grab him, but goes here to the Bulldogs. You know, medium-sized forward, so he's not going to clog up the forward line like when they play those 3 or 4 key forwards there. Then Jacob Moyler gets drafted, and like I said before, I was not paying attention to the draft much. So when Geelong take this, I knew Geelong wanted a ruckman. I'm like, hold on. You're telling me they've taken a ruckman out of Sturt? They've drafted a Sturt ruckman? Oh, Dodson must be off the board. Then St Kilda go at 53. I'm like, what the fuck? What has happened here? How? Like, look, I get it. Like, there may be something wrong with Dodson. Like, I don't know what it is, but every Saints fan should be so excited. I was like, oh my god, what are we doing? Like, especially after that first pick, that pick 32. Like, I like Barat, but I don't think he fits us and our needs. But then we pick up Dodson. I'm like, oh my god. So you're telling me we were going to trade a second round pick for Ivan Soldo? Then we're like, nah, we're not doing that. And then we pick up Alex Dodson with our third round pick. Wow. Wow. Then Lucas Camprioli got picked up. That's real sooner than I expected. I actually expected him to go undrafted, but good on him. Then Sydney get Riak Andrew, so he's a Melbourne Academy player, and Melbourne didn't match the bid. So a lot of Melbourne fans are like, oh, why didn't we take Mac Andrew? It's shit because we didn't have access to Mac Andrew. I get Mac Andrew was like a top 5 prospect in that draft, but he didn't take his brother. I actually think his brother was pretty good for the Stingrays this year. But yeah, wow. Then small forward Will Hayes, don't get it. Like I said, I think Collingwood really need to take key position players, but they grab Will Hayes here. How many goals did he average? Like, was he a goal scorer? 0. Is that goals? Hold on. Oh, midfield forward. I was going to say, I thought he was a small forward for a second, but 15. Alright. I don't know. Clancy Dennis, if you want to draft out WA there. Still on the board. Luke Urquhart, I expect him to be like a late pick, but North can really take shots on anyone at this point. But another mid, we got a lot of midfielders on that team. Jasper Alga, Richmond get him here. I thought he was going to go way higher. I thought he was going to take him with 28, and they grab him here at 58. Great pick. They traded in for him, I'm pretty sure. Then Tyler Welsh goes to Adelaide with 59. Father son, they just took him. They didn't match a bid or anything. Patrick said, honestly, no clue. I want to do some film tonight. I'll watch him a bit, but honestly, not much. We've traded in, so I'm like, it's a bit like Hugo Garcia last year. We've traded in. We've obviously got our eyes on him, but has it messed us up a little bit? And I'll talk about that when we get to 66. Reece Unwin, really like him out of GWV. I think Essendon got a pretty good running player here. Then Luke Kennedy, don't know much about him. Jaron Carr was a father-son, I believe. He's a mature ager, 2 years out, so alright. Don't know much, can't click on him or anything. Cody Anderson, Academy product from Hawthorn. Then Hamish Dave, big slider. Love this pick from West Coast. Surprised St Kilda didn't pick him with 60, but 65 here. And then St Kilda don't match Geelong's bid on Lennox Hoffman. I'm like, what? Why haven't we done that? I'll talk about it in the St Kilda video I record, but yeah. Really surprised that we did not take Hoffman. I think Geelong have themselves a pretty good player here. And obviously Adrian Cole didn't get picked up. I feel so bad for him, but hopefully we pick him up tomorrow in the rookie draft. Then River Stevens gets to North Melbourne as a father's son. Hayden Johnson, never heard of him. Keaton Matofai Forbes, just that. He's that Geelong player that will just turn into a gun in a few years to watch. Never heard of him. Zach Johnson here, makes sense. I really rated him as a prospect, really liked him. Apparently a lot of clubs were not interested in him at all, so I think Essendon got themselves a pretty good player here. Then Logan Smith was the final pick of the draft. Surprising, absolutely surprising. But yeah, hopefully this is pretty short and sweet for you guys. I've tried doing as much insight as I can into some of these players. I've tried to do it pretty quick though. But yeah, a few names that no clue, like Ty Gallop, never heard of Ty Gallop. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.